If you ever feel like life's happening too fast and you've got no time to cry, you're in the right place. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of No Time to Cry. I realised I never introduced myself because I'm assuming that everybody knows who I am, but obviously some people jump into podcasts without starting from the beginning. So if you don't know, I'm Shannon Hodgkiss and I present No Time to Cry. Go and give us a follow if you are new to the pod. We're on every social media channel and you can watch and listen on YouTube and Spotify. And this week's episode is talking a little bit about what I've called it. I've called the episode Over Decided and Under Rested because I'm just knackered, guys, at the moment. I'm so tired all the time. It doesn't matter how much sleep I'm getting or, I'm just tired constantly. And I'm putting it down to the fact that you've got all the highs of all the positive things. So obviously promotion in work, wedding planning, hen do. And I know I spoke a bit about wedding planning being difficult, but actually in the main parts of it, there's some fun things happening. I've got my hen do coming up, my big hen do coming up this weekend. So I'll make sure I give you guys an update on that on next week's episode. But I just feel like I'm knackered because I'm making so many decisions all the time, whether that be over the wedding, at work, at home, and everything just feels quite literally exhausting. And I just feel like, when you complete really big tasks, so at work, I'm making really high level decisions and getting things done and projects worth millions of pounds. And then I'm finished the day and I'm like, do I put the laundry away today? Do I put another wash on? And I feel like my brain is just frozen for the most simplest tasks. And I've just got no energy. No energy. Obviously, I do a lot of training in the gym as well, which I've started training in the morning. So then by the end of the day, I'm getting to the end of the day and I'm literally I feel like I've already been awake 1,000 years. But then I get into bed and I'm thinking about all the things that I haven't done. And I was basically, when I was thinking about this episode, I was on TikTok and stuff. And essentially, they call it decision fatigue. So it's like having 40 tabs open in your brain and 3 of them are playing music and you can't find out which ones are. So you're just frozen and tired constantly. And that is genuinely how I feel at the moment. But I know it's not just me. I think this is just part of being an adult, when there's so much to do, so much to organize. It's and I think about it because I'm quite ambitious with my time. So I'm like, oh yeah, I can fit in 3 friends that week and this week. And then you get to it and you're like, I've got no energy to do any of the stuff that I've agreed to do. And at the weekend, Paula and I had the most chilled Sunday. We planned to do pottery painting a couple of weeks ago. We had to move it because life. And we did it on Sunday. And it was just the most chilled afternoon. We literally went and painted for hours and hours and hours. And we barely spoke. We just sat there drawing on plates and bowls, and I painted 2 rabbits that looked like Bob and made them look like Bobby and Paddington. And we just didn't speak. And obviously we did speak, but for most of it, we sat in silence and I feel like I needed that. I feel like I needed to try and switch my brain off because the gym is usually my place to do that. But even at the moment, I feel like even in the gym, I'm still thinking about stuff and kind of thinking about what needs to be done that day, what meetings I need in work. And I think that's because I'm doing it in the morning. So because I'm up earlier, I'm thinking about the day ahead. Whereas when I used to train in the evening, it used to be like a shut off for me. So I'd work all day and then I'd go to the gym, and that's when I'd kind of switch my work brain off, going into my kind of home brain and personal life. And because I'm doing it in the morning, it's like it's getting me ready for the day. So I'm thinking, right, get ready, start at this time. Then I've got this meeting. So I'm like on the cross trainer, sweating my back out, thinking about what meetings I've got to do first thing in the morning and what prep I need to do. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just feeling like tired, just really tired. And then you're thinking, I usually plan like the teas in our house, like I'm from London, but I call it tea instead of dinner because Jamie calls it tea. So I'm normally like the planner for that. So Jamie will sometimes help me cook, but normally I'm the one that kind of plans what we're having. And even that, I'm like, I can't think. I cannot think what to cook, what I want, what I don't want. Just feel like I can't possibly make any other decisions. And it's always the big decisions you kind of can focus on, can do. And it's the small things in life that you think, I haven't got it in me. I haven't got it in me to do. So it's like I'm in London later on in this week, and I'm presenting. I'm presenting at we do like what we call like a TED Talks, which is like a play on TED Talk. And I'm talking about my network that I look after for like my inclusion network. And I've got to think of some questions. I genuinely can't. I mean, I have, but it's taken me hours because my brain is just like cloudy is what I would call it, just like in a complete cloud. And I know that that's something that a lot of people have, because when I was like on TikToks and stuff, it's something people talk about all the time. And it's like every single question that you get asked in a day, like every single yes, no, maybe, whatever, takes up a piece of your brain. And because I've started a new job, but I've not quite handed my old one over yet, obviously I'm being asked a lot of questions all the time, and I'm just hired 2 new people, so there's been lots of questions from that perspective. And I'm just running on empty, guys. I think I've just been at 5% battery for the last maybe 2 weeks. And I do think when you start, and it's a good point actually, because I've always found this, that when I start a new job, no matter whether I know that field or don't know that field, or there's new things to learn, or I know it really well, I've always found the first month of starting a new job, I finish the day and I'm exhausted. So maybe it's a touch of that. Maybe it's a little bit of that in the last 2 weeks since I've started the new job, that I'm just absorbing so much information as well, that it's not just necessarily the decisions that I need to make. It's that on top of trying to retain as much information as possible. But yeah, I'm just like, don't want to come on and complain, because I've got a lot of things to not complain about, and a lot of good decisions and all those kind of things. But I just think when we're sat here and being honest, and I feel like I've had some really good news and good positive stuff to talk about recently. Obviously, we had the hormones episode last week, and thank you all so much for your lovely messages on the back of that, and Hope, she shared such a personal journey, and I think it's really important to kind of talk about, I had a lot of messages actually about other people's experiences, and how hearing Hope's story has made them kind of feel, I suppose, not comfort, because if you've got things wrong from like a health and hormone perspective, it's not, you don't want other people to suffer, but sometimes just knowing you're not on your own is quite like a big deal. But other than that episode last week, the last couple of episodes have been kind of relatively upbeat, positive, after like a long time of me being ill and a couple of neggy ones. But yeah, I just think I'm always going to come on and be honest. And like, even this week was a difficult record because I'm so busy, and I'm doing this like after work on a Monday, and I'm thinking, when am I going to edit it? When am I going to get that in? I've got to make decisions on what stays, what goes, what topic. So even this episode was a bit of a struggle this week, if I'm being completely honest. And it's not because I don't like recording, because I do. I wouldn't do this if I didn't enjoy doing it. But I just think it's we should be honest that there's some weeks where things are just like, even the stuff you enjoy is hard. Like even going the gym this week for me has been tough. Getting up and going, difficult. Just all of it really is just, everything feels like a bit of a challenge. And I think it's just because I'm maybe physically exhausted because I have been doing a lot of exercise and training and stuff, but mentally a little bit tired as well. So I am really, really looking forward to my hen do, because one thing I would say is like, obviously I haven't planned my hen do, so that's been like a relief. My bridesmaids and my sister have taken the weight of that. But I do feel like spending time with your friends is just like such a rebuild. And obviously it's a bank holiday across my hen do as well, so it's like an extra day off work. But I do feel like, because I'm what I would call myself as like an introverted extrovert. So in general, I don't get my energy from other people. I get my energy from kind of resting, which is hilarious because I don't rest. Hence maybe why I feel tired. But when I'm with people, I'm quite extroverted. So, but what I would say about my friends in particular is I call them like low effort relationships. Like every single one of my friends, I could sit in a room like Paula and I on Sunday and just sit in their company, but not need to necessarily like be that extroverted. I will be extroverted because that's obviously it's my hen do and I'll be excited and stuff, but I don't have to be. And I think there's like almost like a performance element sometimes to just life in general and having to always be like switched on. And when you're with your very, very like the people that you're closest to in all of the world, you can just switch that part of your brain and just be completely yourself all the time. And I have spoke to my therapist about that, because I think at work I do a lot of like masking, and I've got to constantly be like switched on, which is quite tiring. And that's not necessarily because I'm made to feel like I can't be myself. It's more so just I have a work version of me that is quite different to who I am naturally. And I've just always had that. And it's just me personally. And I think it's because work has been an escapism for me. So it's more like I get to be a different version of myself at work, where I have less worries about things that have gone on, like in my personal life and all those sort of things. Not to say they've never like kind of crept in and merged, because they have. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to kind of just being with my people who make me like feel good and relax and just having a laugh. Like this weekend should just be a laugh for everybody, and getting to spend time with people that you kind of care the most, which you don't always get to spend time with, but also in such a big setting. And because I'm getting married abroad, I just think it's so nice to have like a lot of people spend time together before we all go over to Greece as well. So it's like friends that maybe don't know other friends as well, getting to spend like 4 days with each other before going to like a complete different country and potentially spending time with each other there as well. Like it's just nice. It's nice, and I'm ready for it, and I'm hoping that I can like try and gather some energy before a Friday, just to kind of be like, right, no, I'm excited now, because this is something I've been quite worried about in terms of, I suppose, maybe over worrying about things, overthinking stuff. And then when I get to the points of my life that I want to enjoy, I'm so exhausted that I don't get to enjoy them. So I'm going to try and make some space for that this week. Tomorrow I've got a rest day, so no exercise, like minimal movement, very busy at work this week, which obviously doesn't make things as easy in terms of being able to switch off. But yeah, looking forward to spending some time, especially with my sister as well. We talk a lot, but we don't get to spend a lot of time with each other across the year. So it's just nice to kind of, I suppose, be able to go, right, I'm going into this weekend feeling like maybe I've got a bit of decision fatigue. Actually, I don't need to make any decisions this weekend because people are taking that off me. and doing it for me. Now, naturally, because I am usually a decision maker, that actually gives me a little bit of anxiety, but in a nice way. Like, I'm anxious about it, but I feel like I need it. Like, I feel like I need someone to go, no, you're not making the decision this time. We're doing it. And it kind of takes a little bit of a weight off me. It's just something I'm not particularly used to. And because I'm not used to it, I'm like, okay. I'm not like, I normally have to make the decisions, and this weekend I don't. So I think it's a nice change. But again, I'm just kind of hoping that I can make some time to just chill beforehand so I can go into it kind of well rested and feeling good, because I've been having some really bad headaches in the last week as well. And I said to Jamie, I think I'm just overtired, and people will laugh at this, but obviously I train, so I follow like a nutrition plan as well, like with my PT. But I am one of those people that when I'm very busy, I can forget to eat. And I know that might sound mental to some people, but to others, it will make complete sense. It's like my brain is in so many different places and I'm running around like a headless chicken. And then it gets to like 3 o'clock and I'm like, because I track my calories and my protein and stuff like that. I do like macros and stuff. I get to like 3 o'clock and I'm like, shit, I've got 1,400 calories still to consume between now and like, a reasonable time in the evening. And then I end up having to like calorie load towards the end of the night, and I'm going to bed really full. And I think that's why I'm not sleeping. So, but the headaches, I think, is because I'm on call after call and doing this and doing that and doing this. But I've possibly been to the gym in the morning as well. And then I've not fueled my body. So my brain's like burning through nothing essentially, because I've not done. So I need to try and sort of give my head a wobble this week, to be honest, and be like, eat your breakfast, come back from the gym, don't switch your laptop on straight away, have your shower, eat your breakfast, then start working, rather than like being awake going, bang, I need to do this, need to do that, because I don't need to. I can reorder my time around. So yeah, and I think that again, that's like another decision to make, isn't it? So I'm just kind of like freeballing life, because making decisions feels tiring, but then I'm making the wrong freeball decisions. Like, I need to plan better, and then I will feel better in myself. I'll sleep better. I won't have headaches. I'll have more energy. So yeah, I'm just like, I feel like I'm a bit like a whirlwind in the last week or so. So we'll see. We'll see how I get on. But I just thought I'd mention it because I do genuinely feel like this is just an everyone thing, not a Shannon thing. I don't think it's, or maybe it's just an everyone thing with the people I surround myself with. And, I suppose you attract your tribe type thing. Maybe we're all just really similar. But I think it's wider than that. And because it's the start of the kind of financial year and all those sort of things, there's loads of stuff kind of going on. So I feel like even the people at work that I'm speaking to potentially feeling similar to me. So it felt kind of on topic to talk about. Moving on to the TikTok of the week. It's on theme because I found it when I was thinking about what to talk about this week. And it is a creator called Emrez, and she literally says, my forever hot take, the people who don't know what to decide for food are the people that have to make like really big decisions in life. And then it's the small things, this is not word for word, but it's the small things that then create like, oh, I just can't even bear to think about what to eat because I've had to make so many big decisions. This just seems like so trivial and difficult, and that is where I am. And that's not normally me, actually. I normally am quite decisive. But I have some friends and stuff like that who are just like, I don't know, like, whatever you want, what do you think? And then when I think about it, they're like teachers and obviously have to make decisions all the time, or they're in big corporate jobs where they have to make decisions all the time. And I think they are looking for almost like what I am in like the Hindu point, where it's like somebody else fucking make a decision for me, because I do not have capacity to think about what to eat. That just needs to be decided by somebody else because my brain's too busy. And Jamie and I are going to the Trafford Centre tomorrow to do a little bit of shopping, but also to go for some food. And even that, I'm like, I genuinely don't know. I mean, hopefully he'll know what to eat. But even my brain, and usually I'm the one like, should we go eat here? Or I want this tonight, like, or can we have that? Because I don't eat meat, I'm vegan. So, which I'm sure most of you know because I've spoken about it before. But well, normally it's easier for me to think of teas and to think of like where to eat and what to do, because I think a lot of my friends and like Jamie always worry about me not liking the options on like the menus that they pick. So in certain restaurants, whereas I'm not bothered if there's one vegan thing on the menu and I like it, I'll eat there. Whereas it is always good to have choice, but as long as there's something that I like, then I'll eat there. But I think people always want to feel like I've had a chance to take a look and decide what we want to eat, because obviously it's harder for me to eat in certain places than others. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like sometimes I feel like I'm just like pretending to be an adult, and I need like a real adult to come to come along and just make things and do things for me. I'm like, I'm 30 this year and I'm like, what? That's like still a child. I'm just a baby. Surely I shouldn't be making these like responsible decisions. Surely somebody else much, much older should be in charge. But no, it's me. I'm a grown, responsible woman and I've got things to do and decisions to make. And I'm just like, oh God, do I have to? Do I actually have to? Please, please. I will share that creators page as always. But yeah, there's just like, I feel like what I'm doing at the minute is just burying my head in the sand with certain things that I know should take me 5 minutes, but they're actually taking me like months to do and decide on. So how many weeks ago was it now that I told you that Jamie and I need to do the questionnaire for the photographer? We haven't done it. We need to, but we haven't done it. And it's like those kind of things that actually, like realistically, so I think I've over exaggerated. There's quite a few questions, but they're not, we should easily be able to answer them. It's not going to be difficult for us to do. I just, when you're just like, that takes energy. I'm really good at like watching TV programs and listening to podcasts that I don't have to engage like a huge amount of my brain with, because it's like, oh, they're like easy. I call them like easy watching or easy listening. So I can just like passively watch stuff. Whereas I've got to be in a good like headspace and free space. If you're watching like a murder documentary or like a series where you've got to really like tune in and listen and watch. And I think both Jamie and I at the moment, we're not watching anything on TV like series wise. And that is so unlike us. Like, we do love to like commit to a good series. But I think because both of us are so tired from work and everything else that we're doing, that when it comes to like getting into bed and watching things, we don't have the focus. We don't have the focus to actually sit down and go, right, let's get into something that we've got to like properly like buy into. And it's probably been, other than when we first moved house, it's probably been a while since we've been like that. But the wedding is literally, when this comes out, what day are we on? Be like 58 days till the wedding. So I need to get out of this funk is what I'm saying. And same with like work, it's not actually impacting. So I feel like that's where I'm making a lot of decisions, which is why I'm possibly feeling a bit fatigued like outside of work. But I always knew that was going to be the case when I took on this role. So just need to ride the wave. I'll be all good. My therapist's probably going to have a go at me for that and be like, listen to your body, listen to your feelings. You're stressed. What are you doing about it? What actions are you taking? And I'm like, just riding the wave. And I'm like in the White Rapids. But no, I'll be fine. And I think it's almost like sometimes it's just being good enough and prioritizing like what I don't have to be great at everything all the time. So, yes, my photographer probably would love that I replied to her email sometime soon because she's so lovely as well. She's like someone that I look at as like an inspiration in terms of how she runs her business and just like the level of customer service. And she's incredible, like truly incredible. Big shout out to Annie. But realistically, she's got about 10, if not more, weddings. Well, she'll probably have way more than that actually before mine. So I'm like, she doesn't need it urgent, but she does need it soon to start planning. So it is just being like kind of like put aside for a moment. But I need to just put commitments on stuff and dates because I work really good to deadlines. So I think if someone gives me a deadline, then I'm like, great, I can do that, I can do this by this certain date and fix it in. If it's open-ended, that's where I'm more like, well, I'll get round to it. And then until it becomes like urgent, which is a very ADHD trait in terms of urgency and doing things last minute, which is kind of how I've always been. Like even with revision and stuff for exams, I used to be the person that would like revise the day or so before because my brain just took it in more when I knew I had to do it versus revising for months and months in advance. Not that I'm recommending that, by the way, guys, if you've got exams coming up, although I did do quite well, but that's just the way my brain functions. Like it was like the urgency of knowing I had the exam in like 2 days' time, then I could concentrate and absorb the information. So essentially what I need to do is go through my life and set deadlines for myself for everything, because then I'm likely to get shit done and decisions made and possibly feel less fatigued about it. Who knows? I could feel worse at this point. It's worth a go. On that very whirlwind episode, I'm going to finish off with a thought of the week. And I do feel like maybe I've covered this a little bit already, which sometimes does happen when I've written these down ahead of time because they're kind of in my brain. But you're allowed a low battery day. In a world that demands 100% of you every hour, sometimes the most productive thing you can do is admit you are over-decided and choose to do absolutely nothing. Now, actually reading that back, I've kind of, throughout the episode, talked myself into perhaps even a little bit of a contradiction on that one. and actually I think it's true, but obviously you get to certain points where you can't do nothing. So I think in theory I would love to do nothing. And actually this weekend I will be doing stuff, but I won't be deciding anything, which is I think what I was thinking about when I wrote that. But for me, the maybe putting deadlines and stuff on things will help me just be a bit more productive. But like I say, I genuinely don't know. It's not a phase that I usually suffer with, but at the moment I am. So you guys have kind of gone on a journey with me on this episode where I'm figuring it out in my own brain, where I'm that fatigued I can't even work my own thoughts out, which your girl just needs a good night's sleep, I think. I'm not sleeping very well at the moment. I don't know why. Possibly because I know there's things that need to be done that I'm not doing, which doesn't sit right with my personality, but I'm tired, so I'm not doing them. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, this episode is crazy. I mean, try make head nor tail of it. And I have planned this out. I planned this over the weekend. So I'm just, I think I'm even on this. I'm like, what am I saying? What have I decided? What's going on? My head's very much in the clouds. But you guys go on this journey with me every week. I feel like you see a different side of my personality every time I record. And I am a bit of a roller coaster. Sometimes I'm in a very good headspace. The next week I'm not. And again, I think that's so normal. It's not just me. And I know it's not just me because I'm a good communicator in most of the time. And my friends are the same. My family's the same. And my colleagues are the same. So I suppose what I'm doing is just voicing it in a very open platform, hoping to normalize as someone that is very driven, does have, a corporate career where they have to make decisions all the time, home life where they've got to make decisions all the time. Some weeks you just don't want to do it, and that's all right. Like some weeks you just think, can't be asked. Can't be asked to do this, can't be asked to do that. I'm tired. I don't want, and that's okay. You can have those weeks because next week you might not feel like that. And I listened to a podcast episode. I'm just always hyping other people's podcasts. Last week with Jamie Lang and Rochelle Humes. And it stuck with me and I've literally repeated it a couple of times. She said her and her friends have this saying like, it's temporary. Even the good times, they're temporary, so enjoy them. The bad times are temporary as well. So just remember you're not going to feel like that forever. It's just for now. And I've literally been reciting that to myself and to other people for the last week. Like, it's temporary. It's not forever. Enjoy it now. Enjoy it while it lasts. Or, don't let it bog you down because you're not going to feel like this always. And I think I'm just a reminder to myself. And perhaps that's a thought of the week. So I feel like my thought of the week was a bit shit, to be honest, because I contradicted myself. By the time I've got to it, I'd already basically told myself that I couldn't do nothing. Even though they're my words. I've just, yeah. So maybe my thought of the week is from Rochelle. It's temporary. It's just temporary. I will see you all next week for a very different episode, which will be how amazing or how ridiculous was my hen do. Now, my friends are crazy. Anything could happen. Could go one way or another. We'll have a good time regardless, but it could be traumatic in the same extent. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to catching up with you all next week. Hopefully, I could be hungover. I'm going to have to record this on the Monday, on the bank holiday Monday when I've come home. So I dread to think what state I'll be in, depending on how hardcore the weekend was. But I'm hoping that I'm going to feel like I'm good. I've had a good time with my friends. I haven't had to make any decisions, and then I'll feel even better going into the new week. But just remember, if you are suffering with decision fatigue at the minute and like you just feel like everyone's asking you questions and you're full blown Olivia Attwood, what now? What now? What do you want from me? Because that's how I feel at the moment. You're not on your own. Where, there's other people that feel like that as well. And sometimes you just need to tell people, you're asking too much of me this week. Give me some grace. And maybe that's what I'm going to tell people the rest of this week. Give me some grace. I don't want to make that decision. Can somebody else? Who else is going to decide? Surely I don't have to make them all. Where's the real adults? Roll them in. Thank you. Right, I'm going to go. See you all later. Bye.